After months of listening to the concerns of people on both sides of the civil unions bill, Governor Lingle announced today she has vetoed the measure. The bill would have given same-sex couples the same rights and benefits of married couples.
I am vetoing this bill because I have become convinced that this issue is of such societal importance that it deserves to be decided by all the people of Hawaii. I have been open and consistent in my opposition to same-gender marriage and find that House Bill 444 is essentially marriage by another name. My personal opinion is not the basis for my decision against allowing this legislation to become law. Neither is my veto based on my religious beliefs or the political impact it might have on me or anyone else of either political party in some future election.
State lawmakers have said they are not coming back for a one-day veto override session, meaning the governor's decision stands. There was a celebration outside the governor's office by those opposed to giving civil unions the same status of marriage. Of the 34,000 letters, emails, and phone calls received by the governor over the past several months, 60% of them ask her to veto the measure. Opponents of the bill say their prayers were answered today.
I'm very grateful and very thankful for the future of my children. I think it was an awesome decision that Governor Lingle has made, and I'm just very grateful.
I believe there was pressure from all different sides, but I believe that God's timing was the best timing, and her decision came in the right timing.
The Hawaii Family Forum and the Hawaii Catholic Conference released a statement saying, quote, "Her veto affirms the will of Hawaii citizens. We will ask the legislature next year to consider changes and additions to Hawaii's reciprocal beneficiary statute to provide for any needs, privileges, and protections the proponents of HB 444 were seeking," unquote. Supporters who wanted civil unions given the same status as marriage are not happy with the governor's decision and vow to continue fighting. Marissa Yamane joins us with more on that.
Joe, after the governor's announcement, civil union supporters gathered for a rally, a sort of pep talk, if you will. Obviously, today didn't go the way they had hoped.
It's not easy for adults to take the news, so imagine how hard it must be if you're only 10.
Why did she do this?
Shyler Young has two moms and went knocking door to door with them at the state capitol back in April, handing out portraits of same-sex couples.
My son and Shyler are best friends, and they're in class together. And I've seen how much this is meant, and it means to all of us. And I also have a brother, and my son's godfather is gay. So I've seen how they've suffered with discrimination.
Civil union supporters found comfort in each other after learning that Governor Lingle vetoed the bill that would have given same-sex couples the same rights as married couples.
What do we deserve? How will we get them? What do we deserve? How will we get them?
The battle over equal rights for same-sex couples began in 1990 as a fight for same-sex marriage, and last year the fight shifted to civil unions.
Let's just remember the progress we made and how we have grown as a community and politically matured.
The governor's veto means that Shyler Young's moms still won't be legally recognized as a couple.
It's very terrible. I don't like it.
History will show how wrong this decision was. And everyone will have civil rights one day.
The ACLU is also an advocate for civil unions and plans to file a lawsuit in the coming months stating that the Hawaii Constitution prevents discrimination. Marissa Yamane, KHON 2 News.
The major candidates for governor are cautiously weighing in on Governor Lingle's civil unions veto.
I commend the governor for making the decision. It was a very tough decision to make. I was with her, you know, in those hearings that we had. Well, we had two hearings. We had one with the supporters and one with the opponents of that bill. And I can tell you, I was moved just like she was moved.
Democrat Neil Abercrombie said in a statement, quote, "Protecting people's civil rights cannot be compromised. I am committed to that most essential of constitutional imperatives." And Mufi Hanneman, also a Democrat, said in a statement, quote, "I firmly support steps to let the people of Hawaii have the final say on an issue that has generated passionate perspectives."
Making headlines here in Hawaii, Governor Lingle vetoing 32 bills yesterday, among them House Bill 444, and joining us this morning, Citizens for Equal Rights, Tambri Young and Suzanne King. Now, obviously, you guys are disappointed being supporters of House Bill 444. Where do you think we can go from here?
I think what we need to do at this point is to really step back and look at what the governor said. What she said basically was that families like ours really don't have all the rights or don't need the rights and protections and benefits. We need to look at where we are as a country and a state. This is about equality, and we were hopeful that that she saw that this was really an equal rights issue. Until we are all equal, no one is equal, and we will continue that fight to ensure that everyone is treated equally.
And Suzanne, you guys are an interesting scenario because you are a family. Mm-hmm. You were married in Massachusetts, and you have a daughter. And how do you tell your daughter? I mean, obviously she's of age to be able to comprehend and understand what's happening, but how do you explain to her what is happening?
Well, she's been involved in the fight with us for the past 2 years, and she was really disappointed yesterday, and she just thought that it's, she sees it as the real simple issue that it is, that it's about equality. So I think, unfortunately, Governor Lingle took a real step backwards by not seeing this as a civil rights issue and thinking that this issue can be addressed by the public and the community. You know, some of the people were making statements, and Shiloh's still going to school. There's many families out there with children, so we are in the community everywhere. We're not going away, and I think it's just really unfortunate that we continue to have our rights denied us.
Mm-hmm. Right. What are your thoughts about putting this before the public to vote on?
This is, you know, I don't think any civil rights issue should go to a popularity vote. Mm-hmm. However, we from 1998, we are seeing a trend towards that, towards
majority
providing,
rules
yes,
kind of a thing.
Well, yes, and providing equality is definitely that it's trending too. Mm-hmm. But I would have to say that this is not something that you would put to popularity vote, because if that was the case, we wouldn't have civil rights. We wouldn't have women wouldn't have the right to vote. So this is something that we elect our leaders to look at and to consider. And unfortunately, the primary leader in our state yesterday didn't support that. And it's a shame.
Are you optimistic that with a new administration, which will come up shortly, that change will happen?
I think we're absolutely looking forward to having a change in our leaders. As Tambri said, we need good leaders there, and we need a leader who understands this issue for what it truly is.
Mm-hmm. Equal rights, correct.
Thank you. Suzanne, Tambri, thank you for being an advocate and for being willing to talk so openly about your lives and about your family and about your stance, and we really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Governor Lingle's decision to veto HB 444 is getting mixed reactions.
We're very pleased, of course, and it's answer to prayers. Our position was not against, gays or lesbians. Basically, it was to uphold the institution of marriage.
Others are calling it flat-out discrimination.
We're disappointed. We're disappointed in the fact that she didn't, provide equality for all the citizens here in Hawaii.
Dennis Arakaki with the group Hawaii Family Forum says same-sex couples can already get benefits through the Reciprocal Beneficiary Act. The act went into effect back in 1998 when Hawaii last voted on same-sex marriage. It's a legal relationship created when two consenting adults who are prohibited from marriage declare their intent to enter a beneficiary relationship.
That allows for people in long-term relationships, not just same-sex couples, but anyone. It could be a mother and a son or two sisters living together, and they benefit from living together.
Tambry Young and Susan King have a reciprocal beneficiary, but say it's not enough.
So easy for people and the opponents to say, oh, they have their rights, they have their rights. You know, under reciprocal beneficiaries, you're not guaranteed health insurance. It is if you're a state worker. They have domestic partnership with reciprocal beneficiaries, but that's not provided for all the citizens, and there's so many more benefits that we're lacking.
The couple plans to keep fighting for their rights, and the ACLU plans to take action soon.
The fact that the governor has vetoed it has now compelled us to bring legal action. That is something we've been preparing for quite some time. We had tabled it back in January once we had received assurances that it would pass out of session. And now with the governor's veto, we are compelled to go and file this lawsuit, which we are prepared to do in short order.
Equality for all is definitely something that everyone should champion, and we're hoping that all our elected officials see that.